Okay, it looks like I'm live. Good evening, everyone. And it's Sarah Diligence here again from Purposeful Life. It's been a minute. It feels, actually feels like it's been a little while. It's funny. We're on the Go Live Challenge still, 30-day Go Live Challenge. And I think I've missed like 3 days. So this is going to take me into January now. If my husband permits, because obviously it's supposed to be 30 days. And for me, I guess if I miss any day, then I kind of have to backtrack, because one of the whole reasons for doing this is to be able to get momentum, to get consistent on doing things, and also not giving up, also not having that give up mentality, have that give up attitude. So it's really challenging. I had the busiest weekend, oh my gosh, and the busiest week. This week was really busy, just like different things that I had to do during the weekday. Then we had celebration on Wednesday. It was my niece's birthday, and then we had homeschool trip on Thursday, and then we were just out last night helping some friends helping them out with some stuff. Didn't get home till like really late, so I wasn't able to funny enough, actually on Wednesday my family was like, have you gone live? I was like, no, how can I go live? They were like, you've still got 30 minutes to go live. So I actually recorded my my session on the phone. It was a quick one, but I did record it, so hopefully I will put it out at some point. But just firing on, keeping it moving, keeping the momentum. We just have to keep going. So yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about why I don't watch TV. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's funny, because on Wednesday, when was at my in-laws, we were talking about TV, music, and those type of things, and I realized it's something that I'm really not into anymore, and I really thank God for it, because growing up I was big on going clubs and listening to music and dancing and all that kind of stuff. That was really my thing. And then I was really into movies and watching films and things like that. But as I grew my relationship with the Lord and stepped away from those particular things, I found that I didn't have a desire for it. I found that I wasn't bothered whether I watched TV, whether I listened to music or not. It wasn't something that really kind of like hooked me or had me any longer. So for me, it's been a road. It's been a long journey to get to this point. However, it has not been the easiest. And don't get me wrong, when I say I don't watch TV, I watch some online stuff. We don't have Netflix, we don't have Sky or any paid for television. And funny enough, the story goes way back. I think it goes back to, I'm sure, 12 years or so, because Johanna wasn't even born when we put the telly out. And we put the telly out about 12 years ago. We just left it in the corridor. My husband and I made the decision that we're not going to watch TV anymore. It's not good for us. It's not good for our daughter. We only had one child at the time. It's not good for her. It's not good for our growth. It's not good for our relationship as a family. So we put the TV in the corridor. And I remember, we're here in the UK, there's something that we do, that we pay. It's called television license. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys, wherever you are in the world and you're watching this, you probably have something similar. But we have to pay like TV license. And I remember TV license kept writing as in like, do you not have a TV? Do you have a TV? What's going on? You're not paying a TV license. So we were like, well, we're not watching TV. We responded. So they sent someone around the house. And I wasn't home that day. I think I was at work. And my husband answered the door, and the guy came in, and he saw the TV in the corridor, and he was just like, oh, why? I think he said to my husband, why you being like this, or something like that. Just let them watch the TV. And people really just have this thing about television, like it's a must, it's a necessity, it's something that has to be in the home, and if it's not in the home, then your home's not a home, kind of thing, right? It's like it's not complete unless there's that big screen centered, mounted on your wall in the house. But for us, it was a complete different story. we didn't really, we felt that in order to grow, in order to develop, in order to, build our relationship with each other, grow our relationship with our child, and have a good relationship with the Lord, it was something that we really needed to eliminate, right? But then again, it's something that a lot of people were kind of like, oh yeah, but you don't need to not watch TV to be, to have a good relationship with God. You don't need to not watch TV to raise your child or be a good wife or be a good husband or, be somebody that is able to engage in stuff. But I found that the minute we put out the television, we began as a family to do so much more. We began to interact with each other more. We began to talk to each other more. Our daughter, she became like really creative, and she was always a child that enjoyed her own space and her own company anyway. But then we found that without the television being in the house, we began to engage more with each other, and so these are some of the benefits. These are some of the benefits that we were able to have and experience. And now we're at that place where I could go months without watching anything and it wouldn't bother me. We go months without watching anything and it doesn't bother us. As long as we're in each other's company, as long as, we're fellowshipping with each other and we're growing and things are moving for us, then having a television in the house doesn't really, we're not bothered whether we have one or whether we don't, but we don't have one. And again, we don't watch the news. Why don't we watch the news? I mean, for me, it's one of those things where the news, it has so much information, and the information that they're giving isn't necessarily the right information. It's information they want you to have. It's information they want you to hear. They want you to make your decisions based on this information that they're giving you. So it's not always, for me, this is just me, from my standpoint, it's not always ideal to have that coming into your space all day, every day. I mean, I know people that watch only the news and just the news. I think even my mum, she watches a lot of news. She'd be like, have you not heard what's going on? And I'm like, no, not really. She's like, no, Sarah, you need to watch the news. You need to see what's going on. And it's not that I don't want to know what's going on. If I want to know what's going on, I can find out what's going on. I can go and I can read. I can quickly Google it. I can spend a few minutes or even an hour catching up on the news, but then that's my choice. I'm selecting what news it is I want to read up. Even the channels of where I want to get the information from, I can go and pick those up myself directly. So, for me, it's one of those things where I feel like if I sat down and allowed the media to constantly feed me with information, that I will end up being their puppet kind of thing, So yeah. And for me, it's just too time consuming. It's just so time consuming. I mean, I'm a busy mom. I'm a wife. We're in ministry. I homeschool. I also have a business that I'm running and stuff like that. So to sit down and to say that I'm going to watch 4 or 5 hours of television, I just can't imagine it. I actually can't imagine it. So for me, it's way too time consuming. And I just feel like if I was to, I'll be sitting down and I'll be thinking of other things that I can be doing, unless it's set time, like there are days where, my husband and I are like, okay, right, we're going to watch a movie or we're going to watch a program, like it's set time. And if we don't end up watching that stuff, let's say we end up talking through the evening, or he's doing some work and I'm doing some work, that's absolutely fine. Like, we're not crying the fact that, oh, we didn't get to watch that film, oh, we didn't get to watch that movie, oh, it's been 6 months, honey, we haven't watched anything. We just kind of keep it moving. And I feel we keep it moving because we're used to the fact that that is no longer a major factor in our life. It's not a major factor in our relationship, that we have to sit down and consume hours and hours of programs that are just not beneficial in the long run. And again, it's addictive. It's addictive. Television is very, very addictive. And it's one of those things where if you're not aware that you are addicted, it can hold you bound, like literally it can hold you bound. You're running back from work to get in front of the screen for 6:30, for 7 o'clock, or, instead of making sure that the kids are sorted, you're like, I'm going to sort them out after I watch my program. All of that, all of those things, it becomes very addictive. So for me, that's another reason, I don't like the fact that there might be something that can hold me like that, or or if there's something, I mean, me personally, I've always kind of said that I don't really get addicted to things, but there have been times where I'm just like, oh, I really want to. Back a long time ago, I was like, oh, I have to watch this, I have to watch that. It's 7 o'clock, I have to sit down and get ready to watch this. So once, for me, eliminating that from my life was such a blessing. It was just such a blessing. And also, another reason why I don't like TV is because it can make you feel like, you have to fit in. When you're watching, I mean, again, it's not just television. For me as well, it's also social media. Okay, social media and TV are one of those places where if you're constantly on there, if you're constantly, allowing this information to pour into you, you're always going to want to feel like, okay, I need to be like this. I need to have this, or I need to look like this, or I need to speak like this, or I need to, have this in my life. And it's just constantly always making you feel like you have to fit in. And again, this is where we have problems with, the younger generation. They are so consumed by social media, and that's their life, that's their be all, that's their everything. All their friends are on there, and they want to prove that they can be on there, and they want to prove that they've got social status and all that kind of stuff. And it makes them live in this world of, I have to fit in. And when we're looking at rates of young people that are falling into depression, or falling into suicide, or running away from home, or beginning to harm themselves, and just doing all these things, where does it come from? It comes from the fact that they're feeling the pressures of society. They're feeling the pressures of not fitting in. They're feeling the pressures of being inadequate. They're feeling the pressures of, oh, they don't come from a particular family, or they don't look like this, or their skin's not this color, or their hair's not this long, and all of these different things. It's coming from the fact that we are allowing ourselves to be consumed, to be soaked up by the media. So again, that's, for me, that's 100% one of the reasons why I don't watch TV. And even with the children, it's very selective. What we allow them to watch is very, very selective. I remember we didn't have a television for I think it was about 4 years or so. And my husband got a projector for us to watch movies, or whether it be DVDs or ministry things at our own time. So we got the projector, and we used that to, whether we, for the children to watch a few programs and then cut that off. And then, it's kind of like bedtime, maybe an hour or 2 hours they can get before bed. But then again, it's very, very, very selective. We do like sabbaticals where for 30 days they don't watch anything, just to clear their mind. And I think that's another thing, with TV, and just being so consumed by television, and being so consumed by things online, especially on demand. Now they've created on demand TV. I'm sure when that came out, some people were falling off their seats like, I've arrived, this is great, this is just what I need. I need to be able to watch things when I want, and at the time I want. And even that in itself can be a bit of a problem, because before, when something was on at 9 o'clock, it was on from 9 till 10:30. You had to be in front of the screen from 9 till 10:30, or you've missed it. That's it, it's gone. There's no rewind, there's no playback, there's no record, there's no on demand. When it was done, it was done. And to be honest, I really appreciated that type of television, because once you've missed it, you've missed it. You kind of have to ask your friends what happened, and you really have to, you made the effort, I guess, to watch what it is that was being shown. But now, where everything's kind of like on demand, you just tap it in whenever you want. It can, for me, it just feels like it gets a bit ridiculous. Also, another reason why we don't watch TV is because it causes people to miss out on a lot of social activities. Okay, people think they're being social when they're watching television, but they're not. Yeah, they're not being social. Okay, and for me as a parent, it's just so important to be able to build your children's social skills. You know, a lot of children are becoming very, very, very unsocial. The minute they sit down, they want to they want to use the phone, they want to use a tablet, you know, they want to, you know, the minute they get home, they want the TV on, and all of that is not creating, so, you know, creating sociable people, sociable children. Is creating children to be, you know, put themselves in a position where they place themselves in a box, in a corner. You know, it's just about them and that device, you know, or what they're watching at the time, you know. So the fact that it doesn't create, you know, having the TV and watching TV all the time doesn't create, you know, social interaction, for me is a big thing, especially, you know, having a large family and always engaging and always wanting to talk and, you know, just find out how, you know, the day's going, or just even just to sit down to talk, you know. Even that, when you think about that as well, how long can people engage in conversations for these days, like just in general, before they're thinking of checking their Instagram post, before they're thinking of, you know, pressing that play button on the next YouTube video, or jumping on Prime to, you know, to watch something. People are not really engaging. And I feel like, you know, when we put the TV out, my husband and I became so much more closer. We spoke a lot more, we laughed a lot more, we joked a lot more. It was just like, you know, you're actually getting to know the person that you're living with. Whereas when we're just constantly, you know, you come back from work, you have dinner, or even before you even have dinner, you come back from work, you know, you sit down, you take your shoes off, you put the telly on, and you start watching an hour worth of program. Then you go and cook, and then after you've cooked, you come down, you eat. Then after that, you sit down, you put the telly on. And then before you know it, you've got to put the kids to bed, and the children are in bed. And then you come down, you sit down, you put the telly on. Before you know it, then you're going to bed. And it's just like your whole day has just been, not your whole day, but the time that you're at home and you're supposed to be interacting and engaging with your family, that time's just gone from watching television. So, you know, for me, that's another reason why I don't watch TV. And another reason is because I really feel like television creates, and not just, like I said, not just television, media itself creates unrealistic expectations for people. Okay, it makes people feel like this is how life should be, and if life isn't like this, then you're not living life. But then again, it does depend on what you're watching, because there are some ridiculous programs out there that I'm hoping that you wouldn't want your life to imitate. Right? You wouldn't want your life to imitate certain things, but you're watching them anyway. But then what you find is that even though you don't want your life to imitate those things, some way, somehow, it does. It begins to play out, and you're thinking, why am I going through this? What's going on? You know, and it can be from the things that we're watching constantly all the time, because once we begin to watch these things, our mind begin to play these, you know, play out scenarios and play out situations. You know, if you're watching this, yeah, and you're going to be really honest, I'm sure you've been in a position once, twice, if not more, where, you know, you're supposed to do something, you're like, wow, I remember seeing this in the movie, or seeing this on this program, and, you know, let me try it, you know. So there's that. And one of the main things for me, and why I'm very selective, I will speak about, you know, the music part later, but for me, why I'm very selective on TV is the subliminal programming. Yeah, the things that they put in these programs that we don't even, you know, if you're not looking out for them, you're not going to pick it up at all. They throw these things in there, and all of this has an effect on people in the long run. It has an effect on children, it has an effect on women, it has an effect on men, it affects everybody in the long run. And then before you know, it's affecting the family dynamic, right? So, you know, when, like I said, we're very selective on what we allow our children to watch and what we allow them to listen to and things like that. It's really, you know, it's absolutely great, because my our second daughter, she's very sharp, and if her brothers are watching something, she's, you know, she's got her eyes out on what they're watching. If she sees something, she's just like, Mom, no, let's turn that off. Something's not good in here. And so even now, she, you know, she's only 11, but she's she's got to a place where she can pick things up in programs and she notices things, and she's very, 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 very sharp when it comes to that. So that's a blessing in itself, because I know that going forward, when she's watching things and as she begins to get older and as she begins to mature, she doesn't need somebody saying to her, oh, did you see? She's picking these things up for herself at a very young age. And again, it's all down to training as well. It's all down to training, And also, I tell you this has been a massive, massive, massive game changer for me from not watching TV. You save a lot more money. Do you want to save money? Stop watching television. Trust me. And when I say stop watching television, it's not that I'm saying don't watch anything ever again. But what I'm saying is that begin to analyze and begin to, analyze your life and look, how much time are you spending on social media? How many hours are you spending on social media? How much hours are you spending on Netflix? How much hours are you spending on Prime? How much hours are you spending on mainstream TV? If you still watch mainstream TV, how much hours are you spending on YouTube and things like that? And begin to, take time and say to yourself, okay, and be honest, like, all right, fine, I've spent 7 hours today watching stuff. What could I have done in 7 hours? What could I have achieved in 7 hours? When was the last time you read a book? When was the last time you sat down and had a conversation that was so engaging you was just like, wow, I've got to have another one of those, And these are some of the reasons why, cutting down the amount of television that you do watch and the amount of mainstream TV and the amount of social media that you consume is so beneficial. Because the last point that I wrote was, it stops you from achieving your goals. And it does. People who are out here being successful, if you watch all successful, if you listen to successful people and watch some of these programs and some of these talks, a lot of them talk about, spending time doing other things. They don't talk about watching TV. They don't talk. Some of them will even tell you they don't have social media. Right? There was this entrepreneur that my husband had me, that he put on for me one time. And he was just like, go get one of those old phones. Those phones that don't have email, don't have WhatsApp, don't have Telegram, cannot have access to Facebook. Go get you one of those and watch your life change. And you know what? I was like, I'd love to do that. And I think I was at verge, but then I didn't really go all the way with that one, because he was literally like, go and get yourself one of those green screen phones. And that's what he does. And it's funny because he's giving you advice that he's taken himself. He wasn't telling us to do something he hasn't done or he's not doing. And this are the things, a lot of the times people ask, oh, why am I not moving? Why is my life not moving forward? Oh, why is things not changing? Oh, why am I not seeing what I need to see? And Again, we really have to sit down and begin to analyze what it is that we're doing with our time, what it is that we're doing, with our hours. Are we spending hours and hours and hours and hours scrolling through? Because you know what, even now, just watching, being on social media is even like, it's like watching TV for some people. By the time you finish with TikTok, by the time you finish with Instagram, by the time you finish with Snapchat, by the time you finish with Facebook, you've probably watched 4 movies. Like literally, you've watched 4 films. And each film is 2 hours long. So people can easily spend 6 hours scrolling through social media all day, right? And so you have to ask yourself, what could I have done with those 6 hours to change my life? What could I have replaced that 3 hours of Instagram scrolling? What could I have replaced that with? And just begin to make conscious decisions. Making conscious decisions, because we are really getting to that place where we are being drowned with information, from all areas. Information is just coming in. And, what do you do with all that information? Where does all that information go? You can say, oh, I don't really do anything with it. No, but realistically, we are doing something with it. It's going somewhere. It's settling in somewhere in us. Somewhere in us, it's gonna settle down, whether we like it or not. That's how deep it is. It penetrates, straight through us, And then before you know it, it's like, oh, you don't like the color of your hair. don't like the color of your skin, don't like the way you talk, don't like the way you look. Oh, you're you know, this the husband's he's not really doing what he should do. The wife's not really doing what she should do. Oh, the children are. And before you know it, you've got a long list of things that you don't even know where they came from, you know? So for me, those are just the few reasons why I don't watch TV. And if I do, it's very selective. If I do, it's with, I've chosen to sit down for that hour, for those 2 hours, and no, okay, I am blocking this time out to do that. All right. But then that doesn't come first. It's not a priority for me. Like I said, I can go months without watching a movie, months without watching a program, and it won't make a difference. But then obviously I've now conditioned myself to be like that. I've conditioned myself to be like that. So yeah, that is. Oh, what happened there? Oh, my signal's gone somewhere. That's strange. Okay, well, if I can still be heard, I was just about to wrap up. I don't know what's happened there. Touch the camera. Ooh. Oh, okay. I think my camera just timed out or something. I don't know. Thank you. Well, like I said, that was it from me today. I think today, what's today? Today's 12. So today is day 12 of the Go Live 30-day Go Live challenge. And yeah, like I said earlier, I'm still going to keep pressing on. I got to guess I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at an earlier time. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.